Hello guys and welcome back to the Alakazam review show. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for the support on all of our socials, but the review show really is popping off. I'm going to be honest with you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been great.
The feedback and response has been incredible, so thank you so much. Now, I'm of course joined by Jamie Daws. This is the guy normally behind the camera. You know Jamie Daws anyway.
Yeah, it's weird being this side.
Isn't it?
It's really weird being this side.
It is.
Normally I get to poke and tell them what to do, but now I'm stuck here.
Exactly. But what I will say is, obviously, we are now in spooky season. It is October, so we are going to do a scary edition of the review show. And I thought, who better to do it with than Jimmy Daws?
That's
one
me.
of the. Honestly, you are probably the biggest bizarre creator in Magic.
No, there are some pretty amazing people. I just dabble.
Yeah, there are, but you are also amongst that list. You got so many great ones. Jamie is the master behind the Dark series. But as you guys know, we picked 3 effects. I will say 2 of these are Alakazam items because we do pride ourselves on our bizarre/spooky effects. So are we ready to get stuck in?
Yeah, what one should we go for first?
You choose, seeing as you're the...
Shall we go for Till Death? Because you said that it's an Alakazam trick, but I bought this before I was affiliated with Alakazam, and I credit this to me creating Bizarre Magic. So I can give an honest feedback on that.
Okay, let's do Till Death. Okay, so this is Till Death Do Us Part by Jim Critchlow, and I know you love this effect. I remember, well, every time Mum and Dad tell me the first time they ever saw this, and honestly, it gave them chills. Effects like this scream, heirloom, you know, a lot of our bizarre tricks really give an effect and make your spectator feel something that isn't achievable with other types of magic effects. It really does literally make your spine tingle. It's killer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those things. A lot of magicians are maybe worried about doing bizarre magic because it's sort of a niche nowadays. But when you perform bizarre magic, you realise that there's a massive market for horror films, and horror experiences in the UK now are massive, especially at this time of the year. And people really enjoy that sort of darker, spookier side of things. And, you know, this really did start it for a lot of people. It's such a superb effect, and it's so simple to perform. Yeah,
100%. So guys, let's jump straight into performance, and then we'll obviously do the lowdown afterwards. So let's have a look at Till Death. Now, not many people know this, okay, but my mum's dad, my granddad, was actually a wedding photographer. And I remember my mum saying, he spoke about this couple that kind of changed his life. He was never the same after this, apparently, okay? Now, I obviously only knew him after that, but apparently this had a big impact on his life. Now, when rummaging through his old photos and things like that, he used to keep a copy of the wedding couples he would take a picture of. So you can see them all here. I don't really want to get my fingerprints on them, but you can see them all there, right? And I remember Mum saying, one of these couples had a lasting effect and sort of changed the whole course of his life. His personality changed after this one wedding. It was very odd. Now, I'm going to put these more like this for you, so we can see. One of these wedding couples as well, he actually kept a second copy of the photo. He never kept 2, but this one particular couple, he kept 2. Something happened that day that stuck with him for the rest of his life. So I'm going to lay the couples out here. Okay. Now, I never asked Mum, or Mum never told me what happened that day until I got older. And I kept pestering her because I was like, it was such a sort of intriguing story. One of these couples actually committed a murder, okay? Not the couple actually, one member of the couple. So, Jamie, I want you to take your hand like this. All of these people, I'm not trying to be too dark or anything, but they are all deceased now, okay? So you may feel a sensation as you're going over the images. So I want you just to slowly move your hand back and forth. And whenever you feel the urge to stop, I want you just to slowly lower your hand down. Whenever you want. There, you sure? Okay, that's kind of on these 4 here. So I'm going to take away these. These are gone. Okay. So again, I'm going to lay them out in a row. And I want you to do exactly the same. And please don't look at a couple and pick your favourite or anything like that, because you will truly feel a weird sensation. So again, go back and forth, keep going. Whenever you feel the urge, lower your hand. There, are you sure? Okay. They are eliminated. Leaves just 2. Okay. Move your hand back and forth. And this time, I want you just to pick one up. Just grab anyone you want, okay, and put it in the discard. Get rid of it. Okay. One couple is left on the table. Now, what I'm going to do is uncomfortable, and I never like doing this, but we're gonna do it, okay? So, I'm going to tear the image down the centre. Remember, one of these couples committed a murder. You've been drawn to this one, so I'm going to tear it down the middle. Now, I know you're holding the camera, but usually you would be doing this, okay? So that is now torn. Okay. Take a hold of the pieces for. Oh, you got your hands kind of full, but just kind of drop one on the table. It's up to you. Go for it. Drop one. Perfect. Again, you would be doing this as the spectator, but I'm going to rip it in half. Okay. So now we're left in this situation right here. We've got the bride and the groom torn in half. Now, Mum sort of elaborated on the story and told me it was quite a gruesome murder, and it was actually the wife who killed the husband. Now, my granddad, his name was John, he actually kept a copy of one couple, and you will not believe this. This has been in sight the whole time. Again, this could be in your spectator's pocket. Inside there, if I reach inside, you can see there is a torn photograph, nothing left inside the envelope. One torn photograph that has been stuck back together. The moment that changed my granddad's life was the moment he took a picture of this couple's wedding, and you can see it there torn in exactly the same manner that you did yourself. That is Till Death Do Us Part. Okay, so that was a performance of Till Death. Now, obviously, it's slightly more difficult to get the real atmosphere when you're not performing it to like a group or to a spectator or things like that. But this is really chilling. Now, if you've never performed a bizarre effect, this is a fantastic one to start with. First of all, the fact that they tear a wedding photo makes them feel uncomfortable to start with.
Yeah.
So even if you're not the best at building a story, this will help you with that. You know, it will make them feel slightly uncomfortable. The pictures can be spooky, and as soon as you say one of these people murdered the other, it does get a bit, you know, uncomfortable and does draw them in. It's interesting props, and it's super simple to do, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is the sort of, like you said, it's like a jumping off point. So if you've never done Bizarre Magic before, what's lovely about this is that the method is so simple.
Oh, 100%.
The method is pretty much self-working. Obviously, there's a little bit of presentation needed, but that means that if you're worried about storytelling and you're worried about the sort of scarier side, all you're doing is focusing on your presentation.
Yep.
That's all you need to focus on. The method just sort of does what it needs to do. And I, like you said, I've honestly done this for, well, since you brought it out, so however many years ago that was. And I've done this at like fright nights, at restaurants and stuff like that. And when you pull out that end photo, their reaction is phenomenal. They're absolutely chilled. And what I do is leave the torn photo as a puzzle on the table and walk away, so that they have this sort of weird thing on the table. So yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful trick. The pictures are obviously super spooky.
Yep.
You get refills in here, but the images are also on disc.
Yep.
So you can pop that into your computer and have access to those. Go onto your favourite photography print website. They're so inexpensive to get them printed. And then you've got an absolute powerhouse of a scary routine ready 100%.
To go. And like Jamie said, you get everything you need inside here to perform. So we already print you off all the images you need. Everything's examinable. It's a beautiful story. Honestly, getting someone to rip it every single time, they go, what, you actually want me to rip it? I swear to God they say that because it's so uncomfortable. But it's absolutely brilliant. Now, you can put whatever story you want to it, obviously, but that story, the wedding couple, it's just phenomenal. And I don't know, like Jamie said, it's a great sort of intro to bizarre tricks, so it's super simple to do. It's perfect for anyone that wants to perform sort of a more spooky thing, especially this time of year, if you've never done it. Honestly, the reactions will be like anything, unlike anything you do before. Where is it good? Good anywhere, really. I mean, an effect like this can work even on stage. It can work parlour, because the atmosphere is just phenomenal. Even if you just had a little underlying like wind-blown music if you're on stage or something, just to really make it an eerie sensation.
Wedding bells would be great. Like distant wedding bells would be
honestly, this is strong enough as well to do on stage. You know, despite the fact it literally being a torn image, some of these, the right story, the right atmosphere being built, there's not many tricks stronger than this. And like I said, it's so easy to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's everything you said. One really nice thing that I used to do is before you tell them to tear it, you say, just look at them in the eyes. Look how happy they are. Now tear it. So you have this lovely moment where they're sort of looking at it, and then you get them to tear it. So you can play it, you know, as dark as you want it to be. But more than that, you can make this as part of a larger show. Mm-hmm. So these become characters in your show. And obviously, without giving anything away, maybe you know who is going to be selected beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that can be a running theme throughout your show, especially if you're going to do a full circle thing at the end.
Yep. 100%. And yeah, I mean, if you want to, you could write the names on the back, or you can write whatever you want. But what I do just love the fact that as well, like you were saying, you can even structure this throughout your whole act. If you wanted to, you could get the first load eliminated. Okay, these are going to be handed to the person in the front row. We will come back to them later on. As soon as the wedding bells chime, you then go back to the images throughout your whole act. And it's just a nice recurring theme when you finally end. Because I think this is strong enough to end on. If your whole show's leading to this, this is strong enough to end on. And obviously you could have it, we supply you with all the envelope and everything, but you could have it in a box to really big it up. But honestly, Till Death Do Us Part is one of the strongest tricks I think we've ever released, without a shadow of a doubt. It's phenomenal. But guys, that gets the highest recommendation. That is Till Death Do Us Part by Jim Critchlow. Okay, so next up is the Haunted Key. Now, there's so many haunted keys on the market. This one is brilliant because it actually looks like a haunted key. We'll explain it afterwards, obviously. But the way it's been made, the way it's been designed, everything like that is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great, over the years, I used to get my haunted keys from a magic company. I can't remember the name of them.
That's good.
But they used to be sort of big old age ones, and they were quite expensive to have made.
Yeah.
And this is just the perfect size. It's going to fit most people.
It's quite heavy.
It's nice, heavy. It feels really authentic as well.
Yeah.
But I think you should show it to us.
You think?
Yeah.
I'll show you the haunted key then. Right, Emma, what I have here is something that actually scares me, I'm going to be honest with you. This was a key to a chapel, but not just any chapel.
Oh, don't. Gone all goose pimply.
No, I'm not joking. It does actually freak me out. So this was the key to a chapel where a murder was committed. Now, the chapel's never been used again. I don't even know how I got my hands on the key, but some people say the victims of the crime are still attached to the key in some way.
Stop.
No, I'm not joking. It's horrible. Now, I'm going to place the key on my hand. Actually, place the key on your hand. Pass me your hand. Okay. Do you feel any sort of type of energy in there or anything like that?
I just feel weird.
It feels weird?
Yeah.
Okay, if you feel uncomfortable, I'm going to take it off of your hand, okay? So, don't worry. Now, we're going to take the key and we're going to place it on my hand like this. Now, some people say they can see the key move. Okay, now I personally can't, but we're going to try it here. Okay, keep watching the key. Maybe, just maybe. Can you see it starting to move at all or not really?
And I've just noticed that looks like an E, which is even more scarier.
Now you can see that, wait, I don't want to move because it's jolting a bit. Just take a look. You can see that slowly starting to rise, can't you?
Yeah.
Now I don't actually know what is going on here, but you can see that slowly going, can't you? In actual fact, get your finger and just go next to it and just slowly turn your finger clockwise to it. Go. And the faster you turn, the more the key begins to turn. Can you see that actually moving there?
Oh my God.
And keep going. Don't get too close in case you knock it, but keep going. And slowly but surely the key will turn all the way around. Now what I didn't tell you was if you make what I didn't tell you is if you make the key turn, the spirit will now attach to yourself. Now, Emma, unfortunately, I have to pass this on to you. That's how I got the key. Someone done it to me. You are now attached to the spirits. Take that home with you and try and get someone else to do that. Thank God for that, because they are horrible. Thank you so much. Okay, so that was the Haunted Key Deluxe. Now, like I said, it's a perfect key for it. The way it's been made, if you don't know the method, I'm pretty sure you would know the method, but it's perfect for it, okay? The way it's been made is phenomenal. It's a great size, like we were saying earlier on. And you could just tell in that performance, Emma's never actually seen a haunted key before. And the reaction for something that to us is so simple is so strong, isn't it? It's so strong.
If you're looking into getting into Bazaar Magic, this is the perfect thing to do. You really can build any story around this thing.
Yep.
And don't forget, we do have the Tommy Burnett Haunted Key.
It's like a masterclass on it, isn't it?
as well.
Some
in
great,
fact, we've got one of those going up for Haunted Week.
nice, some great uses of it. But like I said, you know, again, this is super easy to do, so perfect for any ability. It takes up no pocket space. You can really build a beautiful story into it as well.
If you're a restaurant worker, it's great. If you're being booked to do like a haunted Halloweeny thing, if you're doing Fright Nights and you're doing walk around, this is perfect for it.
Yeah.
Literally, the sky's the limit. It's perfect for most situations because it's so lightweight.
Exactly. Literally, you can put this in your pocket. You can talk about their fears. This is going to unlock their fear, which I'm no longer going to be afraid of. Or it can honestly do so much. So, guys, seriously, do not overlook the haunted key.
And the price of it.
It's like
isn't
£14
it?
or
Yeah,
something
it's
silly like that.
ridiculously cheap.
And
It's great.
the way it looks, but it looks phenomenal. And usually, the old haunted keys we could get were like bright gold. Just if there was a haunted key, the ones you could get would be the furthest from a haunted key, whereas this could legit be a haunted key. It's fantastic. Also, for the right environment, you know, they're not that expensive, so you could even give it away. Do you know what I mean? If it was the right environment, you got some people just really attached to a trick. You guys know what it's like. You might do one effect, PK touch, this or that. There might just be one group that really, really buys into it. If that's the case, you know, you can give this away because it's literally £14 if you wanted to, you know, and that for them is going to be such a good keepsake. But yeah, so guys, that is the Haunted Key Deluxe. Highly recommend. Again, beautifully made. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Finally, this brings us on to Scream.
Yeah, this is going to be a weird one because I can't review my own trick really.
You can.
Oh, well, I can
I'll
sort
just
of
see
tell
your
you
head grow
about
a
it.
little bit bigger.
I can tell you about it, but yeah, this has probably been the best-selling one of mine through Alakazam, I think.
There's no other
Out of
trick
these.
that gets a reaction like this.
No.
There's no other trick that gets a reaction like this. Even when you do it at Blackpool, sometimes you jump on a stand at Blackpool. This brings people to the stand.
Yes, it does. Or scares them away from the stand.
Yeah, it does one or
could
the
go
other. Yeah,
either way.
exactly.
But should we show them what it is?
Yeah, let's see it and then we can talk about it a bit more.
Emma,
Yes.
I'm going to tell you the story of Susanna Cartwright. Have you ever heard of her?
No.
Okay. So Susanna Cartwright was the first female serial killer. First known female serial killer.
Okay.
Now this is a picture of her. Show it that way. Now the really weird thing, Emma, is she's pictured here with a death mask.
But a what?
A death mask, yeah. So it's supposed to take the form of a loved one who's passed away. But the question is, whose death mask is it if she's alive?
I don't know. Hopefully not mine.
This is the house that she lived in. Now it got knocked down because it became like a macabre tourist attraction. Everyone wanted to go and see where she had done this thing. We'll get onto that in a second. And these are the woods that they found the body in. Now the thing is, Emma, Susanna one night found out her husband was cheating on her. Now, instead of just confronting him, she decided to keep it a secret. And on their wedding night, when he was asleep, she took his shotgun off the wall, pushed it into his forehead as he slept, and pulled the trigger, killing him instantly.
Oh my God!
Now, some people think that they can still see her stood in the woods.
Yeah.
Take a hold of them.
Why?
Some people think that they can see her looking out of the window.
Oh.
But the weirdest thing is every picture that they found of Susanna, her face was not only cut, but burnt out of
What?
each image. But the most interesting thing was on the letter that she sent to the police. Have a look. And that's the story of Susanna Cartwright.
I can't believe the reaction this thing. Well, I can because I've seen it time and time and time again. The reaction it gets, and it's like that every single time.
It's years old now as well. This one, I don't know how many years. It's got to be about 8-9 years now. Easily. But it is one of my favourites. And what's really interesting is the story that I wrote for it, using this lady called Susanna Cartwright, and the story of the house, and etc. etc. It's a story that people who perform Scream do the exact same story, which I don't have a problem with. I think it's great. But it's weird that this Susanna Cartwright is like a real character that people have created
latched
from this trick. So people really know her for that. But the props come with it. Alakazam did a great job. Again, I can sort of talk about it because it was before I worked with Alakazam. But they produced everything perfectly. I told them the sort of envelopes, and then Pete was like, well, find out where they are and we get those exact ones. This is exactly how I created it for myself.
Nice,
It's exactly verbatim what I wanted. And we even speak about the right bangers to get.
To get the loudest ones.
To get the loudest ones. But yeah, it's always been one that I've loved, and I put it out every year for Halloween. And quite often at Halloween gigs, when I do like Fright Nights, people will ask for this one because they know what's going to happen.
Exactly, they love the reaction. And I mean, if you're performing at an event, there's not many tricks, especially for a spooky one, that will be as good as this, because the booker will hear screams, they'll then look over, it'll be you, all right? Obviously, you doing the trick, you're not just scaring people, but the other thing I love about this as well is the fact that the story is beautiful, but there's also magic moments happening throughout, like her face disappearing, you know? Then you've got, can you see her in the woods? Can you see this? It's a little bit eerie, and it's just, there's so much stuff that happens with this effect that the ending is just the cherry on top, you know? It's not like, just the story the whole way through, which isn't even a problem. You know, you can have effects, like, to be fair, till death. Nothing happens till the end, but you get sucked into the story. This one, there are a couple magic moments happening, but then you have that awesome wow moment at the end as well, which is
and you always get a response. When her face disappears and it's cut out, there's always a response.
You give them the cards as well, the photos, so it's like it's happened in their hands. And the fact that it's not a picture changing, it's something it's a removal of a photo. Her head is removed. That is impossible, you know? It's
method-wise, no switching anything. Which the original version used switching of stuff. Everything's sort of self-contained. The thing that goes off is self-contained within the envelope. And this sort of trick shouldn't really be used as a haha, got ya, made you jump. It's not about that. It's about building up the tension and giving someone this story and this really immersive experience, and then using the jump scare like a horror film does, right? A horror film doesn't go out just to make you jump for the sake of it. It's about the tension. It's about the excitement of it. It's about the apprehension of what's about to happen, and then you get them. So it's so much more than just the bang. It really is the whole story. It's about bringing them into this world and then hitting them with this jump scare at the end.
Whenever you perform it, you use such like a soft tone in your voice. It really just draws people in. You know, they're hanging on every word.
Shout, but I had a mic on and I didn't want to deafen you guys. So.
But like you do, obviously you go up and down, but when you are sort of talking normally, it is kind of a soft, quieter tone, and they just don't see it coming. And it is brilliant. Like we said, perfect for anyone in Magic. It's easy to do. You're guaranteed to get a scare as well, a big reaction. Hence the name Scream. You'll always get a scream with it, even if you do it to lads, trust me. It's killer, isn't it? Perfect for any environment. It's a great price as well. You get everything you need in there. Yeah, it's perfect.
And the best thing is, the 3 tricks that we've shown you today are very easily routine together. So you could talk about maybe something happening within this couple, and then you find out that one of them had a mistress, and that's why he was murdered. We go on to Susanna Cartwright, and then we find out about that, and then we find out that the key to her house was the key that we had down here, and that people see it moving. Beautiful. So it's really easy to link stories together into something much bigger. And just those 3 tricks, really, if you... not many people do this, but you really should, because it's a great market to tap into. Go to a restaurant and say, I will put on a Fright Night for you. And that tagline, Fright Night, certainly in the UK, and I know America has loads of Halloween events, they'll book you to do a Fright Night. And then these 3 tricks around each table, you'll have people screaming, you'll have people unsettled. It'll be great. You'll have all these photos on the tables. So you could really do a whole little mini act just of these 3 tricks.
It's sublime. And yeah, I mean... check out the other ones in the Dark series as well, because they are like a collection of horror effects. But yeah, that was Scream. It's brilliant. I know you won't say it, but it is brilliant, isn't it?
It's all right.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely. So that was it for this week's spooky season edition of the Alakazam Review Show. Now we've done it now, so if you do want to pick up these effects, you can learn them in time for Halloween. And to be fair, all of them you'll literally learn within sort of 5 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, they're very, very, very simple tricks. It's all about the presentation.
Which is, to be fair, you do need to put a bit of effort in that, because that is what draws people in, you know.
These are all about presentation. That's what Bizarre Magic is about. It's not really about the trick necessarily. These are just a conduit to the story. It's just about building on that.
Yeah, 100%. But guys, obviously any of these effects and so much more is available on our website. But that was Till Death Do Us Part, Scream, and Haunted Key Deluxe.
Yep.
If you guys do enjoy the video, please hit a thumbs up and consider subscribing, because obviously we do have content going out pretty much every single day. So thank you all. Jamie, thank you so much for joining me on this one.
Thanks for having me.
I thought this one you'd feel the most comfortable in it. We're in your own environment.
I do love a bit of spookiness.
Yeah, spook. But guys, thank you so much as per usual. Comment down below what effects you want to see reviewed, and also comment what your favourite Bizarre effect is. Cheers guys.